covering at Fox the corporate culture there and the wider impact of it all. Back now with the panel. Van, I want to talk about your take on all of this. We actually found a clip of Bill O'Reilly talking about you, obviously from a couple of years ago.
This guy, Van Jones, let's be honest about this.
Yeah.
This was a guy who had, like, the lowest job you can have.
Not true.
No, this was a guy who was sitting in a lawn chair.
Not true.
All right? On the mall in Washington.
Not true.
Yes.
No.
Trying to get guys to rake up leaves.
That's not
make it clean.
Wow.
He wasn't a big guy.
This guy is full of riddled with lines and distortion.
It's obviously him talking to Glenn Beck. I'm wondering what you make of Bill O'Reilly's downfall at this point.
Well, I think a number of things. I've been sitting here just squirming, trying to just hold it in. So many things to say. First of all, I have to point out that any normal situation, Donald Trump has egg all over his face, his chest, running down his leg. He came out saying this guy's great. He's never done anything wrong. It turns out there was a pattern and a practice in that organization, Fox News, of multiple million-dollar payouts as basically a cost of doing business with having this guy in the building. And lots of people had to have known. You don't hand out $10, $13 million because of one employee who can't keep his mouth shut, can't keep his hands to himself, without lots of people knowing. The President of the United States put his name behind this guy's name. That's terrible. Number two, Ailes, Trump, and O'Reilly. Three guys now known for a kind of braggadocious, predatory behavior toward women.
Wow.
We're in this tug of war about what that means. One guy in the White House, two of them now out of public life. It looks like women and people who care about women and people who have functioning brain stems and care about respect are starting to win this battle. And so you're watching a major moment now in American life, in American culture. It's interesting to me, and I'll say this in my own just, I don't know, lack of decency, that when they were attacking me leaving the Obama administration, Ailes was in place, Glenn Beck was in place, O'Reilly was in place. They're all gone. I'm still here. Let the justice train move on.
Jason, I want you to be able to respond to what Van's saying.
Look, I certainly can't speak to what Mr. O'Reilly was saying about Van Jones, but I do think that some of Van's rhetoric on this was a little bit overblown. I mean, I think there were a number of false attacks that came out against the president this past year. I think voters decided this. I think it was pretty clear in the fact that the president got 306 electoral votes. Voters took this information in, they processed it, and knocked it away. And I think to try to lump the president in with some of these other cases, I think is
There was a
bridge too far.
videotape. There was a videotape, sir, of the president, the candidate at that time, now the president, talking about grabbing someone, by the vagina. That was not.
And the president apologized for using that.
That was not an accusation against him. You guys say the same thing.
Facts.
You say
And the
everything.
president apologized for using that
And
language.
you say
and I think
every
we moved
time you
on.
guys say two things and it doesn't work anymore. You say, number one, it's all fake news. That wasn't fake news. And number two, because he got a bunch of votes, nothing now can stick to him. It's just not true. His numbers are